From an external evaluation point of view, I'd like to spend the next 4 or 5 minutes telling you about some of the things that make the Arco project interesting and some of the features that you as a training organisation or a trainer might find useful for yourselves. Obviously, we like to look at how well a project has met its aims and objectives. In this case, how well the transfer of innovation took place, the cultural change on the organisations taking part, and the impact on the trainers and the learners. So how do we go about researching these changes? Obviously, we look at data sets and the analysis of those sets. We review documents, we attend and observe at meetings, we get feedback from trainers, we look at case studies, and we look at any audio or visual materials that are available. But let's just remind ourselves why Arco is important. The spectre of youth unemployment across Europe, as these figures show, is quite shocking, and we need some innovative solutions. With Arco, the innovation is basically in delivering transferable skills to young people who are not in education, employment or training via embedding them in non-formal learning. The innovative product in Arco is the toolkit, and this is based on WACART's 20 years experience of delivering this kind of work in North London. So what did the project partners think about the usability of the toolkit? Well, they thought it was a good guide, and they thought it was easy to understand and easy to use. They also felt that it transferred well into other sectors. They thought it linked practice and theory, and it was a solid base from which they could then develop their own suite of materials. And importantly, it helped them improve internal practices within their own organisations. So how does the innovation transfer? Well, as this diagram shows, it cascades down from the lead partners, WACARTS and Renova, down through the partner organisations, the trainers to the learners, refining materials as it goes to produce outcomes and impacts which are then reinforced by these various documents. So what was the impact on the organisations that took part? Well, firstly, there was a cultural change in the way that these organisations are now going to start working with young people not in education, employment or training. Secondly, it enabled them to embed key skills within their work. And thirdly, and perhaps importantly, they're now starting to broaden out the Arco approach into other areas of their work. As for the tutors, they said that it actually gave them more structure, made them more aware about transferable skills in their work, allowed them to plan more dynamic lessons, gave them a sense of validation, and helped raise their confidence. But what about the impact on students, and particularly their distance travelled, which we know is always very difficult to measure? Well, Arco created a tool which allowed the tutors and the learners together to come up with start and end scores, and generated this graphic shown on the right so they could see their progress. Here's an example of the interpersonal skills scores, and you can see the percentage improvement and the difference in the average start score and end score. Here you can see the score for 33 learners in just one area of oral communication, and even though the countries vary, you can still see the improvement across the board. And again, here are all the transferable skills selected by the partners during Arco, and you can see the improvement across all of them. So whilst the data shows us some measurable improvement in transferable skills, what else did the learners get out of it? Well, for some it was a better learning experience. For others, the trainers thought it allowed them to do more challenging and stimulating work. And for some students, there were other positive results. Some went into jobs, and others went into other forms of training. So why try Arco? Well, it can provide benefits for your organisation, for your trainers, and for your students and learners. And it comes with a suite of tools that are easy to understand, easy to use, and you can start working with straight away. So why not give it a go?